if you hate miners, you hate me as well, because I admit it, I confess it, I use my RX 480 for mining.
Sucker, be silent!
And there was a lot of talk about GPU prices, obviously, and the impact of miners, and JC2Sense was very vocal on condemning miners. And look, I mine myself. I actually stopped, not before the prices were going down as now. But let's talk about GPU prices and mining. Given now there are a few news coming up where it appears that AMD and NVIDIA want to sell direct. Now, who is to blame for the price increase? Because look, let's talk honestly, right? Why do you mine? You mine because you want to make a profit out of your video card. And I was as well mining because I was believing in a cryptocurrency as being something completely new, like the internet completely put upside down the world of the information. I was, and I can still truly believe that cryptocurrency can put upside down the banking and finances system that we have at the moment. Now, the problem is that it turns to be quite the opposite, because since cryptocurrencies become very easily tradable, it become much more convenient and efficient to just buy cryptocurrency on exchanges rather than mining. And mining was becoming convenient only if you have dedicated machines to mining, you have access to cheap electricity, and you have a massive amount of GPUs, which is against the philosophy of mining, right? And I'm talking like the more utopistic thought of mining, the more philosophical approach of mining, not just the one, oh, I want to get money out of it, right? Because the reason why mining moved to GPUs was to make it accessible to more and more people, because the key is to decentralize the production of cryptocurrency. But the reality is that people are clever, people are greedy, and they found a way of, minimize the cost by putting together data center like mining rigs across countries where electricity is having a low cost. That means that the production of cryptocurrency is not so much decentralized anymore, but is actually centralized among those people that have the resources and the willingness to invest money in creating these massive data center like mining centers. So what is left for people like me, people like you, which may have their GPU sitting there in their PC and me thinking, well, maybe I can mine with it. Now, why I stopped mining? Well, I stopped mining because I quickly realized that if you don't have a dedicated rig doing mining, it's kind of like not so nice to use your gaming PC for mining, because first of all, I don't believe it's going to completely damage your components if you do it sensibly and you do it correctly by lower volting your GPU. But the main issue is that the PC is in constant use, and you find yourself maybe not using it as much as you would like for gaming, because every time you have the feeling, oh, I'm going to stop mining, I'm going to stop making money out of it, and it's not becoming your gaming PC is not just becoming a source of entertainment, it starts to become a source of revenue, and you start to see it differently, you start to treat it differently, and you start not to enjoying it that much. Actually, have you noticed maybe that I didn't post so many videos lately? And that is because I bought myself a steering wheel, and I'm now totally into iRacing, and still I'm finally again enjoying my machine to just gaming and just game with it. And I stopped mining way before the price of the coins were going down, so I was still profitable when I actually decided to stop mining, because I realized, well, maybe I can build my own rig. But then when I checked the price of the GPUs, even for miners, don't believe that miners are happy to spend 500 euro for RX 480, because the whole game of mining is to quickly recover the cost of the GPU and start to make a profit. So the higher the price of the GPU, the less happier the miners are as well. Yes, it's true, maybe the miners, they may be a little bit more inclined to pay a higher price for a GPU because they're buying it just to, create money as well. However, that's true until a point, because if the GPU is very expensive, and if I need to create a new rig and buy 6 GPUs and they are 500 euro each, it's going to take me forever to recover that cost and start to make money. No one likes to pay a lot for a GPU, miners included. It's not only a problem for gamers. So who is to blame? Well, it's hard to tell, but definitely I'd say not the miner. The miners may have to blame because they want to buy not only 1 or 2 GPUs, but they want to buy 10, 20, 50, right? So they're taking them off the market. So you can blame the miners for making hard to buy a GPU, right? You can blame them for that, but you cannot blame them for the price. They want to pay as less as possible for a GPU, as much as you want to do it as a gamer. So who was making the most profit in the bonanza of the mining? AMD, NVIDIA? Not really, because let's talk about this. AMD and NVIDIA, they are producing GPUs, right? So they are doing research and development, they are putting together the cost of the components, and they designed that, okay, it will cost us that much to produce this GPU, so we suggest this is going to be the price. But we live in a free market, right? So once they give the GPU to Sapphire, XFX, and AVGA, Asus, well, they can put whatever price they want on it, right? And Asus, AVGA themselves as well, they are not only selling directly, but they are giving this card to large distributors that then are giving these to retailers. So I'm producing the card and I'm selling it to a distributor for $200. That distributor will sell it to a retailer for $250, and that retailer will sell it to you for $300, right? And he will make a cut of $50, let's say. Now that retailer see that there is high demands on these cards, see that somewhere else prices are starting to go up, and it's like, oh, maybe instead of 300 I can sell it for 350. People are still buying it. 400, people are still buying it, right? So I blame initially, especially the retailers, for having increased the price, because they are the first one to be in direct contact with the customer. They are the ones setting the final price. They are the ones that want to make the highest cut because they bought those cards themselves. They want to sell them for a much higher price that they bought from, and the higher they can sell them for, the better. Now it's true, however, that AMD and NVIDIA, they did not really produce enough cards to meet the demand of the market. And can we really blame them for this? I'm not sure about that, because this high demand of cards, everyone knew that it was not because everyone started to build PC gamings, but everyone started to buy them because of mining. And mining can very quickly become not profitable, and people may stop buying a new card, may stop mining, which is what hopefully we're going to see happening now that the value of the cryptocurrency is going down. However, there will always be a certain amount of demand, because miners may still want to mine even at a loss, thinking that that coin that now is not so well known, it will explode at some point in time, and it's very easy to mine it now, so I just stash them up before they're going high in the market price. So by being so volatile and so unpredictable, the market of mining, AMD and NVIDIA were very cautious on ramping up their production, because if the demand dies out, you will have lots of cards on the markets and you will have the reverse effect. The price will be very low. And what is the problem with that? The retailer will not be able to sell it for a high price, but for a very small price, and they are going to have a low margin, and they may not be interested in selling anymore certain type of GPUs because they are not making enough cut out of it. And that's why I think that the real reason why the price went up is because there was no enough production. But there was not enough production because AMD and NVIDIA could not commit to the mining market alone to ramp up production. And if you look AMD, which is the most successful GPU for mining, if you see their stocks, is actually not reflecting that at all. Actually, AMD announced record quarters with GPU sales, but still investors were not so happy about it because they knew that the core demand of those GPUs were not gamers, but were just miners, and they knew that those miners may stop to buy video cards tomorrow. So what is the solution? I think that AMD and NVIDIA going direct is a good news overall. Because, as we say, it's a free market, right? So the only way for AMD and NVIDIA to control the price may be to get into the competition with their own retailers and saying, okay, we are selling it on our website for the retail price. Then you are still free to do whatever price you want, but people will be more likely buying it from us if the price is cheaper. And there are a lot of people saying, oh, but this, will be the end of custom GPUs, will be the end of Sapphire, will be the end of FVGA, will be the end of MSI. Well, it won't, because MSI, FVGA, ASUS may still create custom coolers, RGB lighting, stock overclock, offer higher and longer warranty, and they may still put some value that will justify people to pay more to have an ASUS card versus buying directly for AMD. But at least there will be the choice, there will be the option to buy for a lower price from AMD and NVIDIA. And someone believed that, well, AMD and NVIDIA, they will just sell at the same high price, why they should bother selling for the lower price? Well, if you sell for a too high price, what will happen is that people will stop to buy cards or will stop to buy the high-end tier cards. The whole market will follow, right? Games will be developed for the lower tier cards, and you will lose value on having a higher tier cards. No one will need it anymore. They need to create a need to have a high-end tier card, and by doing that, they need to ensure that it's priced fairly, because if it's not priced fairly, people won't buy it. They won't buy it for gaming, right? And as we say, they cannot rely only on the mining market. So my take on all of this is that AMD and NVIDIA going direct is potentially more of a good news than a bad news. But I would like to know what you think about it in the comments below. And if you like this type of videos, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to help me out reaching that 1,000 subscribers is now needed for do a little bit of monetization. So I hope you found this chat useful, and see you on the next one.